Hello folks, Mr. Swinger 1 here. Welcome back to the channel. We're going after this Sportster battery today. I'm going to pull this out. We will go to the battery shop, get a new one, and we'll get a new one installed. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go after this hot wire. I have a 10mm wrench. Let's see how that goes. And make sure you don't touch it to metal because it might arc. So it's a little loose. It might actually be a 3/8. But I typically grab metric out of habit. Most all your cars these days, when I was in the business, stuff is metric, the newer stuff. And you can get away with it up to a certain size. After a while, you'll get a loose fitting metric wrench and you'll just have to go for standard. But short version on that is, if you're a mechanic these days, a good set of metric tools will take you far. I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. I've gotten away with it for a long time. A little spacer in there. This battery's been replaced once. So we got the hot wire off. We're free and clear with that. There's a little bit of corrosion on that. I think we'll get new bolts with the new battery, but if not, we'll clean that stuff up. Battery's held in with a strap. It comes down here. I believe I have an 11mm socket. Yep, that's an 11. Again, it's probably 7/16. But I'm getting away with metric. I'm just using metric on a Harley. It's blasphemy, I know. I do have standard tools. I just don't always grab them first. I assume everything's overseas, at least the fasteners, right? This bike's an 05. It's not brand new, but it's not real classic either. Alright, so a little bit of corrosion. Alright, we got that out of the way. Little bracket. It's like a strap. Get that out of the way. This slides out, and we go after the negative cable, which should be the same 10mm. Alright, here we go. I'm going to put the passenger peg down. I might set the battery on that if I can get it out that far. And I don't think it's going to, but I can get it to bolt right here. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. I don't know if you can see in the back here is the negative cable. You just kind of get in there with your wrench and unhook it. So then installing is going to be opposite. We're going to hook that up first. This is probably the hardest part of the whole job because there's no slack on that negative cable. We'll get that negative cable off. The battery comes right out. I'm going to look and see if I can find a date code on the battery so we can figure out how old the battery it is. I think the last video I said I thought it was a few years old, but honestly, that's one of the gifts of getting older. 3 years, 7 years seems like 3 years. So I remember the original battery on this going bad. I got 10 years out of it. This bike's an 05, so that would be 2015, 2016. I replaced the battery. So I'm thinking it's 2023. This battery should be 6 or 7 years old, but we're going to try and find that out. If I remember, that spacer on the positive terminal was because the wire was touching the battery cover. It's going back 7 years, but it's all coming back to me. All right, she's out. It doesn't look like I pulled the date and month off the sticker. It doesn't look like, if you look here, I'm going to turn this, I don't think it's going to leak. If you look here, it has the date and month sticker. I installed this. I don't think I pulled them. I'm going to make sure and do that the next time. But I'm assuming this battery's at least 6 years old, if not 7. All right, I'm back. I got like a straight car wash soap bottle here. There we go. And just detail around, wipe things up. Even in a car, clean the battery tray every time you change the battery. Because they rot out there, the acid leaks out of the battery and it eats the battery tray, and then it'll eat through the fender, inner fender of the car. We don't really have that issue here with the bike. There's no leakage. But as I was saying, yeah, the guy at the Interstate Battery store, I asked him to load test it. I wanted to double check my home diagnostics. Honestly, I didn't have a doubt. If you watched the last video, you've seen how the voltage dropped from 12.8 down to 12 on the, which just turned the key on. So what I want to do here is, we're going to get this battery installed, and then we will do the load test again, so you guys see what it looks like with a good battery. All right. See you on the next clip. I took the battery hold down strap off. If you see, it's a little rusty. It's either really thick paint or powder coat gone bad. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to mask off this rubber vibration pad. I'm going to fire my air compressor up. And I'm going to skim this down a little bit. I'm going to repaint it. I won't let that hang and dry while I install the battery. But yeah, this bike's an 05. That's 18 years old. Stuff like this I call corrosion control, general maintenance on a old bike. I mean, the bike doesn't look old because it's been well taken care of. But they don't even make, I don't even think they make XLH Sportsters anymore. So it's an old bike. But yeah, this is something, this is up to you if you want to take the time to do this when you change your battery out. But I'm going to blow the paint off this and rattle can, hit it with another coat of paint.